Blessings, everyone. It has been the most extraordinary and beautiful experience the last 2 days. Today is the 2023 portal. And I can only say that sharing this with everyone, because I know everyone I'm speaking to around me is experiencing the miraculous energies and incredible miracles, synchronicities, the light codes, the beautiful music, and you name it. It's everything that we've all been leading up to is now coming into actuality. And so with that, I was very drawn today to do an angel prayers reading. It's a little generic and impromptu. I'm just sitting on the floor. It's a very grounding feeling. So that's the other thing that I've been shown throughout the day. I'd like to remind everybody, here's your little reminder to center. We need to center because this energy is very, very fast. It's beautiful and peaceful, but it's fast. And so to help ground that in, they've been encouraging me in spirit, the guides, angels, masters, light beings, starseed family, to just drink a lot of water. And they always tell me just sit on the ground, sit on the floor, stay centered. And so that's what I'm doing right now as I'm doing the reading. I would like to thank Source and all in every dimension around us that is assisting. Please bring through a message today for the highest good. Thank you. And that's been shuffling. That's been an extraordinary gift today, is that everybody around that I'm speaking with, my soul family, friends, they're all receiving beautiful messages today in all the different ways that everybody does. And that's the extraordinary beauty that keeps me in awe all the time, is it's so different for everyone. It's all at the same core of the oneness, but the expression of it is so vast and so different that we get to see and hear and experience so many different lenses when we're sharing these things. And it's so important. Well, we're connecting. The guides are encouraging me right now as I'm shuffling to mention that speak your truth. Yes, we're connecting and we're sharing each other's truths. And when something resonates, we're sharing it on social media, and we're connecting in that space with each other. But it is so important right now to express ourselves. So it's not just connecting with others, but we're giving the others the opportunity to connect with our energy and our lens. So please, if you're getting messages or having synchronicities or just a moment, a feeling, share that, because it's so important that we have the even exchange of energy. I'm just, as I usually do, pick a card, whoop, and if it moves, okay, I'm getting two. And the first one is connect with music. Thank you, angels, for inspiring me through music. And the next one is live your joy. Thank you, angels, for supporting me as I follow my joy. And so connect with music. I think that's a universal thing that we've all been sharing, especially on social media, is a lot of times the frequencies, they come through in the music, and it doesn't matter. There's no sacred music, so to speak, although the frequencies are sacred and the tones are sacred to us, and the octaves and certain resonance, the light. The music itself, it doesn't matter. It could be from A to Z, from country to rap to R&B, soul, rock, new age, whatever it is that draws you, pop, it doesn't matter. What it is it's the energy of the lyric sometimes from the musician, what they're putting into that, and the different tones and the sounds. It just sets up a space. I know there's a lot of us that when we're creating, whether we're painting, obviously dancing, writing poetry, cooking, we have music going on, and that's because it lifts the energy. And they're also reminding me, I've had a few people ask, and Spirit is kind of encouraging me to speak about this. How do you hear the messages? How can you connect? How can you get a sign? And one of the most beautiful ways to set up that space so we can hear clear is music. Sit down with a favorite song, or if you're trying to get a sign or connect with a deceased loved one, put on some of their favorite music. And yeah, sometimes it makes us feel a little sad, and that's okay. But on another level, we have to trust that that's also lifting the energy because we're processing the emotions. One of the most beautiful and healing and powerful things we can do to center is to allow the experience. And I know sometimes we hear a lot of the mediums and spiritual teachers say that it has to be really positive and you have to be dancing around and happy and lift that energy high and meditate and get the joy on to hear them. But that's not always necessarily the case. Sometimes a good cry listening to a favorite song just breaks that heart open. And we're listening to that song and we're feeling the feeling. And in that grace and that space, that acceptance and that understanding and moving, the messages can come through. Sometimes it won't always be right in the moment then because we are being emotional. But just know that that energy is still able to be a conduit and process. So don't ever worry that if you're in that space and you're not joyous and we're not dancing around, in our happy place, that you're not going to get a message and you're not going to hear, because sometimes some of the most profound messages come when you're just laying on the floor, rocking back and forth with your heart broken, just surrendering. So, and the music also there, I'm being drawn to the circle. That's something that's been really prevalent. Is a lot of times I put on my social media pages, I speak about the sonic sound and the resonance of the angels and the octaves, and a lot of times it comes in that circular pulsation, kind of like the cymatics, where if you look that up on the internet, the sound creates different mandala looking artworks. And so the light codes are a sound like that. That's the visual aspect. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick that up, but it's a resonance, and it ripples and it changes and it has formations. And so when we're listening to music, the angels are saying that we're finding our tone, we're finding a resonance, and that's how we can connect with each other. That's how people say, you're my tribe, or we're on the same vibe. It's kind of because of that. There is a certain frequency from the heart that we're sending out to each other, and it can feel familiar. It's the same kind of vibe, the same frequency, tone. And so the angels are saying that if you want to find your tone, notice what you're being drawn to in the music. Some of us prefer a more bassy sound, a deeper sound, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're on a low energy level or a dense energy level. It just means that that is the tone that's resonating in your heart center. Now, I do the crystal singing bowls, and each of the bowls have a note for the scale. And I have to honestly say, sometimes I don't always agree with what's been kind of dictated to what each chakra sound is supposed to be, because there's a lot of us that when you hear a bright sound like a violin or a flute, and it just opens everything up for them, or as I said, you're hearing a drum or a bass, something very deep, it kind of opens things up. So the best way to know your frequency and your tone, so you can connect with that in the light, is just listen to some of your favorite songs and let yourself explore what it is in the music that's drawing you. It could be the tone of the voice. It could be the sound of the drums. As I said, it could be ambient sounds in the background. Whatever that is, just pay attention a little bit to the repetitive sensations that you get when you're listening to the music, and that will tell you. And from there, you can connect with all different experiences outside, from what the colors mean, the different frequencies in nature. It's really fascinating. And live your joy. I mean, I'm seeing the butterflies, and that's always a sign for me that what the angels are saying with this card is that the joy, living your joy, is finding that the butterflies symbolize change for me. And so they're kind of drawing me through that attention. And I'm seeing the circles, like the light orbs, and there's Luna, which is amazing because right now we just came through a new moon. So what they're saying is, with this new moon energy, there's been an amazing change. It's a transformation. And if we can just find the joy in the transformation, even though sometimes when we think of transformation, we think of that it's going to be some kind of life-altering event, which it can be. There's no doubt about that. We've all had major health crisis, financial crisis is going on, natural disasters. It's from A to Z here on our school. So, but the different colors, the rainbows, that's the reassurance. The angels are with us. That's the music. The sound of the angels are different octave colors. But to find the joy and to know that the actual transformation in our lives, no matter what that is always going to end up where we need to be. And the process really is up to us. Most of this is just remembering. And if we always can center in that space, allowing the truth to come through that we chose to be here, from there, everything can be embraced and understood, and the lessons can be seen clearly. Sometimes in the very beginning of the journey, the questions always arise. Why would I choose to have cancer? Or why would I choose to lose my house? Why would I choose to lose my child or my beloved pet? Why would I choose to lose my job or be hungry? Anything. Why would I choose depression? And that is the key. That's the whole part of the exploration. Just going through it. You will understand why you made these choices and why these things are happening when we start to find the joy in the actual transformation. Even if it's difficult, even if it's painful, it's a gift. There's a lot of souls that are waiting to come here to experience this. I always hear on the other side when I'm connecting with, whether it's loved ones or guides, angels, there's always souls stepping in that want to come back and try again. Because when they had their life review, they realized, wow, I did want to learn that. Because I believed in myself. I really thought I was going to get it. It was such a clear lesson. When I became homeless, if I would have just seen how how I'm getting a reset. I have nothing. I'm getting to start over. But it was so painful and emotional that sometimes we can't see that here. It takes to go back home and try again. When we see it in the life review and we realize that those painful things, those resets were chosen by us because we truly believe and need to know that we could do it. We wanted to, because we wanted the lesson from that. Because all of our soul family is weaving through this as well and playing their story out here. And we've all agreed with each other that we're going to take a part in this and each learn something. And so they're saying the circles, it's the circle of life. We all completed. And Luna is always the hidden aspects of everything. So what we're not directly saying, we have to trust that we can find. The joy doesn't mean that we have to be radiating the happiness, obviously. If we're going hungry, I had a terrible diagnosis or lost a loved one, that's inane and not what I'm saying. What it means is that if we could just trust the core of this, that there is something, we don't know what it is in the moment, that's going to come of this transformation that our soul needs. We just have to trust that through the pain, that what is happening through it, that at some point, when we're no longer here, sometimes the lessons aren't always going to be clear. Not everybody comes to that point here. We're different levels of journeying and different experiences here because it's all just experience. So maybe we're not going to know definitively, and we have to let that go. But we have to trust that when we return home, that's going to be very clear. And so maybe we won't get the answer as to why we're losing a loved one or why we've become homeless or ill or any of the other things that we're going through. We may not know here. But if we have enough trust that we will and do our very best to take anything from the experience that we can, and remember through all of it that we believed we could do it. Don't let ourselves, our higher selves, down. Don't doubt that. So they're pulling back their energy, and I hope that that wasn't too heavy of a message today. I feel like Spirit really is pushing this because there's so many of us that are asking why. We want to know why. We don't always have the answers right away, but we got to do the work. That's why we're here. So my love to all, beautiful blessings. Everybody enjoy all the miracles today and the synchronicities. And please remember to share, because when you share, it's just connecting the lights in the web. Much love.